and evils will multiply in the earth. Now, think about it. Evils was already in the earth, but that thing, the Lord said, look, when the white man came into power, it multiplied. It got worse. You understand? Go ahead, read it again.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
So I want you to keep that in mind. When the white man came into power, evils became multiplied in the earth. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And there...
Who is the Greek, who was the so-called white man most celebrated hero during the Greek captivity? Alexander the Greek. Alexander. You heard of him, right? We all went to school. They love this man. That's their national hero. That's, you know what I'm saying? Just like Julius Caesar during the Roman captivity. That was their national hero. Watch this. Start at 1 Maccabees 1. Show them. We're gonna show you Alexander the Greek. They call him the Great, but we call him the Greek, and we were whipping their behind. Go ahead.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip,
Alexander, he's in the Bible. Alexander, go ahead.
The Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
The first over Greece. So Alexander was the first so-called white man to reign.
Glory hunter Alexander the Great cared only for one thing: conquering the world. He threw his army into battle without fear for defeat, as if he was immortal. And why wouldn't he think that? The man was on a victory spree for 10 years. His men were tired and wanted to return home so they could enjoy the luxuries they had won.
Before that, all the other dark nations was reigning. The Persians, you understand? You know, we had the kingdom. We was ruling the earth for 80 years.
During Solomon's reign, Israel enjoyed a period of immense wealth and prosperity. He engaged in lucrative trade with neighboring nations and established diplomatic relationships. The fame of his wisdom attracted visitors from other lands. However, Solomon's numerous marriages to foreign women led to his downfall.
You understand? Under King David, under King Solomon, right? But when they came into power, under Alexander the Greek, watch what happened. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9.
7.
Verse 7.
Watch
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and he died. Now, they have a show out right now. I haven't watched it, but I heard about it with Alexander. And how Alexander died, he was a homosexual. So they're mad because they didn't want to put that inside the show that he was a homosexual. So they mad about that because they don't want you to know about their hero. Our hero is gay. Yeah, he was like that. He was a warrior, but he was like that. I think he died from syphilis. Go ahead.
And his servants bear rule, every one in his place.
So he had men. He had men under him. They bear rule, right? Go ahead.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
So they made themselves kings after Alexander's death. Watch this.
So did their sons after them many years.
So generations passed. They started making themselves kings. Go ahead.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And what?
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
What's that mean? And evils will multiply in the earth. Now, think about it. Evils was already in the earth, but that thing, the Lord said, look, when the white man came into power, it multiplied. It got worse. You understand? Go ahead, read it again.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
So I want you to keep that in mind. When the white man came into power, evils became multiplied in the earth. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And there came out of them a wicked root.
And they also known, the race of the so-called white man, their race is known as the wicked. They're called Esau in the Bible, the Edomites.
That's right.
Go ahead. The wicked. Go ahead.
Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage of Rome.
All right, now, remember, evils were multiplied in the earth. Now, give me the Yeah, Second Maccabees now.
2 Maccabees chapter 4 verse 6.
Watch this.
For he saw that it was impossible that the state should continue quiet, and Simon leave his folly, unless the king did look thereunto. But after the death of Seleucus,
Right.
and when Antiochus called Epiphanes took the kingdom, Jason the brother of Onias.
So Jason was from the tribe of Levi. Jason was from the tribe of Levi. He'd have been a so-called Haitian, right? Go ahead.
Onias labored underhand to be high priest,
Onias was high priest at that time. Go ahead.
promising unto the king by intercession 360 talents of silver.
So he labored underhandedly to take the priesthood, because the Levites at that time, they had the priesthood. All right. So that's why Onias, he's a Levite, so he's the high priest. Why? Because the Levites, when you read in the Old Testament, they were given the priesthood. They were the priests that did the offerings and so forth, right? The sacrifices, right? Go ahead.
And of another revenue 80 talents.
So, but the priesthood was through your lineage. The priesthood was through Aaron and Aaron and his lineage. He tried to buy it out from the king, because they were ruling over us. So he said, if I go to the king, if I go to the white man, this is what our people do. If I run to the white man, maybe he'll let me have the priesthood. Ain't nothing he can say, right? Watch this.
Beside this, he promised to assign 150 more, if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise.
What that mean? What is that? That's the gymnasium, right?
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
And isn't the youth being trained up now? They're being trained up for sports. They're being recruited. You understand? This is where it started. Read it again.
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
The fashion of who?
The heathen.
Where did the exercise come from?
One day I had an idea. I called the boys to the gym, divided them up into teams of 9, and gave them an old soccer ball. And I told them the idea was to throw the ball into the opposing team's peach basket. I blew a whistle, and the first game of basketball began.
Where did the gymnasium came from? Gymnasium just means exercising naked.
That pretty much came from, like you were saying before, when gladiator days and stuff like that.
Who?
The gladiator days and stuff like that. When
Gladiator days was in Rome. This is Greek. Greek came before Rome.
Oh, all right.
So read it again for him.
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
Remember, who's ruling?
At that time, the white person was ruling.
The so-called white man is ruling. He's king right now, right? Jason, a Levite of the nation of Israel, he goes to the king to ask him for a license in order to build a gymnasium so to bring our people to sports, to train up in sports. That's what he did. But remember, he said it was in the fashions of, read that last part again.
And for the training up of the youth in the fashions of the heathen. And
in the fashions of the heathen. That's in the fashions of the heathen. Remember, evils will multiply. Go ahead.
And to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus.
Let's just read.
Which when the king had granted and had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation.
Hold on. He forthwith brought his own nation of people, read,
to the Greekest fashion.
What is sports? The Greekest fashion.
That's right.
That wasn't our fashion. He brought us to the Greekest fashion. You understand? So they was exercising naked in the gym. The Greeks did that. We didn't do that. But he's so evil that he wanted. Yes. Watch this. Go ahead.
And the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Eupolemus, who went ambassador to Rome for amenity and aid. He took away and putting down the governments which were according to the law, he brought up new customs against the law.
Watch this. Here we go.
For he built gladly a place of exercise.
That's your gym today. That's your Planet Fitness. That's your LA Fitness. That's your Gold's Gym. That's your Giants. No, what's it called? Giants Gym or something? Yeah, Giants. Giant Fitness. Yeah, Giant Fitness. So he built up a place of exercise in our city now, in our land. Go ahead.
Under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat.
The hat of Hermes. No, the hat of Hermes, but it came from here. It's called the hat of Hermes. Read.
Now such was the height of Greek fashion.
Sports. Go ahead.
An increase of heathenish manners.
So it was an increase of heathenish manners. Now watch this.
Through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch.
Read.
And no high priest.
Read.
That the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar.
You see what happened? The priests ain't had no more courage to serve at the altar. Why? Because they're supposed to be offering sacrifice for our God. But now they wanted to go play sports. You see that today with the young men. All they think about is sports. Yo, what you want to be when you grow up? I want to be like Bron. I want to be like Jordan. It's all about sports today. That's all you see. That's just what's prevalent. It started here. Go ahead.
But despising the temple.
And we despise our temple of our God. Read.
And neglecting the sacrifices, hasten to the partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise.
We ran to do that thing. We couldn't wait to go and lift some weights. We couldn't wait to, and we was naked around other men. Go ahead, read.
After the game of discus.
Where's discus played at? The where? The Olympics.
Right.
We was in the Olympics. The Olympics started with them. Dave and Jason brought us to be in the Olympics. He brought our people into that madness. Remember, evils will multiply. What I'm showing you, sports is evil. Now you can do it on a recreational. You can go play ball, whatever. But when you actually playing it for like sports and so forth, you putting that before God, right? Go ahead. And that's what we did. We put sports before God. Right. Let me ask you, where is that? Where did we just read that? Where we put it before God? Verse 14. Read verse 14 again.
Verse 14. That the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar.
We put sports before God.
Right.
We put the Olympics before God.
Right.
It became idolatry to us now. Go ahead, read it again.
That the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar.
So instead of we gotta go offer up some sacrifice. Like, I don't feel like going to do that no more, man. Let's go to the games. Let's go throw this discus around. The Olympics. We gotta go to the Olympics. They want us to run track and field. I gotta do the 100 meter. I gotta do the 100 meter sprint. I gotta do the 200. I'm getting a lot of women and fame from this. Right. That's what was going on. Just like you see it today. They about to put me on a Wheaties box. They about to put me on a Wheaties box. I'm about to be on the box of a cereal. Why the hell would I want to go in the temple and just offer up sacrifices? This was our mindset now. Go ahead.
But despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise.
So we rather, let me show you the madness. We rather exercise around other men naked instead of going to offer sacrifice to our God, right? We wanted to go throw a disc around and see how far we can throw it than to offer sacrifice to our God. That's going to protect us, right? This is the same people we end up fighting against. This is the same people that hate us. But now we want to join with them. Don't you see? Huh?
We want to entertain them.
We want to entertain them. That's all they look at us for, entertainment.
Right.
And the USA Olympics right now with basketball, it's all entertainment. That's it. Who makes up the team? That's it. They know what they're doing. Yo, get all them niggas and bring them to France and so forth, to Paris, so they can entertain us. Make them travel, entertain us, and win something for us, and bring something back. Right? Read on.
Wearing our flag.
Wearing our flag, right.
After the game of discus called them forth,
Uh-huh.
not setting by the honors of their fathers.
Who's our fathers in the Bible? You know you have forefathers in the Bible? We didn't set by the honors of our fathers in this Bible. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, King David, Moses, King Solomon, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah. These are our forefathers in the Bible. Christ, we didn't care about that no more. Go ahead.
But liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Our people like the glory of the Grecians today, to the very day. For example, when a brother make it in sports, who do he marry? White woman.
Moved to a white neighborhood.
He moved to a white neighborhood. He's married to the white woman. Huh?
He got a white car.
He got a white car. He going to all white parties. Everything white. But what I'm showing you is that, and they're red. They're red. They're not white. But what I'm showing you is that this is what we do. We like the glory of the Grecians best of all. We don't care nothing about our God. We don't.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them.
Sore calamities came upon us. Why? Because we wanted to follow them. God said not to follow them. Remember, it was idolatry what we doing. So God started bringing judgments upon us for playing sports. That was the fall, right? That was the fall of us playing sports during the Greek captivity, right? Go ahead.
For they had them to be their enemies. And
We had them to be our what?
For they had them to be their enemies.
They still our enemies. They still our enemies to this day. It never changed. But we just want to be like them, right?
And avengers,
And Avengers, go ahead.
whose custom they follow so earnestly, and unto whom they desire to be like in all things.
See that? We desire to be like them. Even today, we desire to be like them in everything.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord